Make sure you share this with your colleagues and don't forget to subscribe, as a way to support each other on the journey from zero to hero. Your change is our priority. What happens when you walk alone? If you walk alone, you will learn the strength of silence. If you lose people on your way, you will find your true self. If no one believes in your dream, believe harder yourself. If the road feels heavy, remember gold is found deep in the ground. If you keep walking with purpose, the world will one day follow your path. Life often presents a choice: follow the crowd or walk alone. Most people choose the crowd because it feels safe, comfortable, and familiar. But comfort rarely leads to greatness. Walking alone is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it is a declaration of courage and purpose. It is the choice to trust your vision, even when no one else understands it. The crowd follows what is easy, the brave follow what is meaningful. Imagine a young African man walking on a golden path at sunrise. Behind him, a crowd moves in the opposite direction, dusty and unaware. He walks alone, yet every step carries power, clarity, and vision. This chapter explores why walking alone is often the first step toward discovering who you truly are. 1. Understanding the path. The path less traveled is not always visible to others. Often, it is narrow, quiet, and uncertain. But it is also the road to self-mastery. The courage to be different. Walking alone is never easy. The moment you step away from the crowd, you begin to feel the silence of independence and the weight of your own decisions. But that silence is not emptiness, it's strength. It's in those quiet steps that you start discovering who you truly are. The crowd moves fast, often without direction, but when you walk alone, you walk with purpose. You learn to listen to your own voice instead of the noise around you. When you walk alone, you are forced to think for yourself. You start identifying what truly matters in your life. You discover strengths you never knew existed. Exercise. Take 10 minutes today and ask yourself: am I following a path that others expect of me, or the path that I feel is right for me? Write your honest answer in a journal. 2. The difference between solitude and loneliness. Many fear walking alone because they confuse solitude with loneliness. Loneliness is emptiness, the feeling of being disconnected without choice. Solitude is intentional, a space for reflection, creativity, and growth. Great minds like Albert Einstein, Oprah Winfrey, and Nelson Mandela all spent periods in solitude to find clarity and develop ideas that changed the world. Solitude is the soil in which genius and self-discovery grow. Reflection exercise. Think of one time you spent time alone and felt creative or insightful. What did you learn about yourself? The road less traveled. Many people fear loneliness, yet all great achievements begin with someone who dared to walk alone. Think of inventors, leaders, and dreamers, they all refused to follow the easy path. They walked through criticism, doubt, and misunderstanding. The road less traveled is full of stones and shadows, but it's also the only path that leads to discovery. The sunrise you see when you walk alone will never be seen by those who stayed with the crowd. 3. Why most people follow the crowd. Humans are social creatures, and there is safety in numbers. Yet, following the crowd often leads to mediocrity. People accept what is easy rather than what is meaningful. Distraction. Crowds pull attention toward comparison and envy. Fear of criticism. Conforming feels safer than being judged. But history teaches us that innovators, leaders, and visionaries rarely fit in at first. Example: Nelson Mandela walked a lonely path fighting apartheid, despite criticism. Santiago in The Alchemist left his village to follow a personal legend, walking alone toward his treasure. If you are not willing to be misunderstood, you will never do anything original. Paulo Coelho. The power of self-belief. When you walk alone, the world may call you stubborn, strange, or lost. But in truth, you are becoming unshakable. Every step teaches you to trust your inner compass. You stop needing approval from others. You start creating your own direction. Self-belief becomes your map, courage your vehicle, and faith your fuel. The farther you walk, the stronger you become, not because the path is easy, but because you learn to walk it without fear. For the first step toward greatness. Walking alone requires courage, discipline, and faith in the unseen path. The first step may feel awkward, uncomfortable, and even frightening. But it is the first step toward authenticity, vision, and growth. Daily exercise. Walk for 15 minutes alone, without distractions. Reflect on what ideas or feelings arise when you are alone. Ask yourself, what would I do today if no one else's opinion mattered? The crowd vs. the individual. The crowd follows comfort, the lone walker follows conviction. The crowd seeks safety, the lone walker seeks truth. Following the crowd might make you popular for a moment, but walking alone makes you powerful for a lifetime. The crowd changes its opinion every season, but a person with a vision remains firm like a mountain. Remember, success is not found in the noise of the crowd but in the stillness of your determination. 1.5 Key Lessons. Walking alone is not weakness, it is strength. 1. Solitude is a powerful tool for self-discovery. 2. The crowd rarely leads to greatness, the path less traveled does. 3. Courage is required to take the first step. 4. Reflection and awareness in solitude cultivate clarity and purpose. The reward of solitude. At the end of your lonely journey, you will look back and realize that every moment of isolation was a hidden blessing. Walking alone taught you patience, focus, and peace. You learn to enjoy your own company and to value your own growth. The crowd will one day recognize the path you created, they'll call it success. But deep inside, you'll know it was the courage to walk alone that made all the difference. Conclusion. Walking alone attracts wisdom, strength, and destiny. When you choose the lonely road, you begin to see things the crowd cannot see. Opportunities hidden in silence, lessons buried in struggle, and freedom born from courage. You attract clarity because your mind is no longer distracted by noise. You attract confidence because every step proves your strength. You attract purpose because solitude teaches you to listen to your heart. The truth is simple, greatness never grows in comfort zones. The crowd may offer company, but walking alone offers transformation. Each step you take in silence builds a louder legacy than 1,000 voices following the same path. So, if life ever calls you to walk alone, go boldly. You are not lost, you are simply being led toward your destiny. The sunrise always comes, even for those who walk alone. Every brave step you take, even when unseen, is preparing you for a future where your vision becomes reality. The path less traveled is not empty, it is full of purpose, waiting for the brave to walk it. Choose wisely. Share your thoughts in the comments so we can all learn and grow together. Want to stay connected and learn more about business development? Join my WhatsApp group.